Lack of energy is the first sign of approaching misfortune and illness. Ayurveda, part of the revelation of ancient sages who possessed complete knowledge of the universe, teaches that if a person is progressing spiritually, this can be seen through two signs. First, a person becomes happier day by day. Second, their relationships with others improve. If these two signs are absent, then no matter how spiritual or religious one's practices may seem, that person is actually regressing. True happiness comes from giving, from selfless sacrifice, because love can only be experienced in the act of giving. A selfish, greedy, or envious person cannot truly love, and is rarely loved in return. Such a person cannot be happy. We can give only when we are free from dependence on this world. The fewer attachments we have, the more we can give, and therefore, the more we are capable of loving. If your desire to receive is greater than your desire to give, it means you are dependent. The one who receives is dependent, the one who gives is free. In Ayurveda, the world's oldest system of medicine, known for its depth and wisdom, it is said that at the root of all diseases and suffering lies selfishness and envy, because these qualities amplify egoism, self-centeredness, and greed. And what happens to an organ or cell that no longer wants to serve the whole body, but only consumes its resources? Such cells become cancerous. If the body does not get rid of them, it dies. Likewise, the universe seeks to eliminate its cancer cells, selfish people, or even entire civilizations, by cutting off their energy. The enlightened Aryans wrote in their sacred texts that civilizations do not perish because of wars or natural disasters, but because everyone begins to think only of themselves, only about taking, not giving. The fundamental principle of harmony is energy exchange. It alone opens human hearts to love and makes the world happy. Spiritual homeostasis. Egoism and selfishness are dangerous because they destroy homeostasis, a state of balance between our inner and outer worlds. For homeostasis to exist, a living being must generate energy. If energy is not released, the being becomes dependent on its environment. Independence from the world begins with energy generation. Spiritual homeostasis starts on the spiritual plane and extends to the physical and chemical. To maintain it, one must not depend on the material world, for the more we depend on it, the more quickly we are destroyed by its changes. We must stop being consumers and learn to give much more. However, if we give on the physical or emotional levels, we must draw energy from somewhere. That energy can only come from the divine level, where it exists in infinite abundance. This pure higher energy flows through us when we do not suppress the feeling of love, when we allow love to guide us, when we understand that we are secondary to it. We must preserve this feeling even if we lose worldly things, money, status, or even loved ones. Through unconditional love, we connect to the main source of energy that sustains everything. Food gives us external energy, but it takes internal energy to process it. Notice how those who fast periodically are often more energetic than those who overeat. When we are ill, we naturally lose our appetite. Fasting allows the body to cleanse and restore energy. Modern life, with its constant stress, chaotic eating, shallow communication, casual relationships, and anxiety, drains our energy. But fasting, solitude, and deep, unconditional love replenish it. One of the first rules of health, therefore, is to love the world with all its flaws, love yourself as you are, love your destiny under any circumstance. Free yourself from selfishness and greed. Make your life's purpose the pursuit of divine love, because we draw energy from our purpose, and the very aspiration toward divine love fills us with higher energy. Look around, our civilization lives under the slogan, consume, consume, consume. Yet the number of happy and healthy people decreases every day. Global and personal problems multiply. No medicine, no self-help technique, no organization can solve this. The number of people suffering from chronic fatigue syndrome grows daily. And how could it be otherwise? The enlightened sages and even modern scientists affirm anything born of ego and selfish motives, even if it appears good, ultimately leads to destruction and suffering. Everything that comes from the soul, from unconditional love, leads to bliss, health, and harmony. When do we receive subtle energy? We gain subtle, vital energy when we fast. Practice breathing exercises. Spend time in solitude. Take a vow of silence for a time. Walk along the sea, mountains, or in nature. Engage in selfless creativity. Praise noble people for their virtues. Laugh, smile, and rejoice sincerely. Help others without expecting anything in return. Practice humility. Pray before eating. Eat foods full of prana, life energy, whole grains, ghee, honey, fruits, and vegetables. Sleep between 9 to 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., the hours when the nervous system restores itself. Receive or give a massage from a harmonious person. Bathe in cold water, especially in the morning, ideally barefoot on the earth. Sacrifice time or money for others. See divine will in everything. When do we lose energy? Energy loss occurs when we feel sadness, dissatisfaction, regret, or fear of the future. Pursue selfish goals. Live without purpose. Hold grudges. Overeat. Let the mind wander without focus. Eat stale, fried, or chemically altered food, or food cooked in anger. Consume products without prana, coffee, black tea, white sugar, white flour, meat, alcohol. Eat in haste or on the go. Smoke. Engage in gossip, criticism, or judgment. Breathe improperly, too often or too deeply. Stay under direct sunlight for long periods, 12 to 4 p.m. Engage in casual or loveless sex. Oversleep or sleep past 7 a.m. Overwork body and mind. Indulge in greed. Eastern psychology and prana. Eastern psychology is 50% pranayama, the theory and practice of specific breathing techniques that keep a person filled with life energy, prana. According to enlightened yoga masters, we can accumulate prana through the 5 elements. Earth, eat natural food, live close to nature, look at trees, walk barefoot. Water, drink well or spring water, swim in rivers or seas, avoid caffeinated or alcoholic drinks. Fire, spend time in sunlight and eat foods filled with solar energy. Air, breathe fresh air, in forests, mountains, or by the sea. Avoid smoking and crowded places. Ether, cultivate positive thinking, kindness, and joy. This last element is the foundation. Even perfect diet and nature won't help if a person is filled with anger or negativity. A kind, fearless person can remain healthy even in a city, but still needs good food and regular escapes into nature. In cities, temples, churches, and monasteries serve as sources of prana. The choice in every moment. Every second, we have a choice. To radiate light into the world, to bring happiness and kindness, to smile, care, serve selflessly, restrain lower impulses, see a teacher in every person, and divine guidance in every situation. Or, to complain, envy, resent, worry, chase money for pleasure, or project anger. In the latter case, no matter how much wealth one has, they will remain unhappy and drained of energy. To feel alive, they will need artificial stimulants, coffee, cigarettes, alcohol, nightlife, or conflicts, all of which bring temporary highs, followed by total exhaustion. A simple question to ask yourself daily. Am I radiating light, or absorbing it? The answer can quickly transform your mindset and actions, turning your life into a bright, loving glow filled with energy and harmony. And then, the question, where do I find energy, will simply disappear.